Pace car down and away. Field in the hands of your pole sitter, Matt Houston, out of that RaceVerse Racing Team stable on the gas, and green flag flies for the first time here tonight at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Houston off to a good jump already. And already a caution on the raceway. Trying to look to see if we can't go back, see what happened here. Have a little bit of issues going on. Trying to get that sorted out, figured out as well. Looks like Tony Petty and Victor Santos, Lewis Woodall also involved in this incident here. We'll wait to see how the field goes here as we come back to the green flag. Pace car gonna duck off. We'll get fired off one more time here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Indy 300, powered by RaceVerse on the gas. Green flag back in the air. Your race leader begins to step away already. There you see drivers making their way to pit road. Drivers on pit road having some issues. You can see it right there. Struggling at the back of the field. Drivers trying to maintain the pace, trying to keep with the race leaders. Will continue to head up through some of the field here tonight. And a big caution, big wreck off of turn number 2. Oh my, that's going to catch a lot more of these drivers out. Looks like Gary Gotso, Hugo Akason also involved in this one. Looks like Victor Santos, Anthony Concha, Tony Petty already being scored out of tonight's race. Big time issue for a couple of drivers already. 4 drivers back behind that pit wall. So Indianapolis Motor Speedway claiming multiple victims here very early in the going. Into the restart zone, and green flag flies once again here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Field fanning out towards the back of the field. It looks like that was the 46 of Carlos Palermo as the front of the field stretches itself out just a little bit. We'll jump back here to a little bit more of the battle zone, the hot zone, if you will. You see drivers side by side trying to make passes. Robert Sadler, Thomas Gessler right there, Carlos Palermo, Dakota Damage sitting right there in the 17th spot. So battles all over this raceway, not just at the front of the field, now looking over the top of the driver inside of that 18 Dallara IR18. Thomas Gessler right there on the trail of Robert Sadler, 15th spot on track. Back around the 10th spot battle right now on the raceway. And it looks like caution flag coming out. Caution on the raceway. Diego Pereira with a crash on the track. We'll jump back here, see if we can't see what happened with Perino. Oh, and Perino just smacks that inside wall hard after the contact with the outside wall, pancaking the right side. There you see the nose cone tore off the front end of that Dallara IR18. That is more than likely going to put an end to the night for the driver in that 30 machine. Those fresher tires back there, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th on back, are going to have a little bit more grip. They're going to be able to slide through that corner a little bit easier, and look for them to be all over the drivers at the front. Your new race leader, the 46 of Carlos Palermo, will lead the field back to the green flag as the Ford Mustang pace car gets ready to duck on off field, making their way into turn number 4. And we'll be set to fire things off one more time here tonight at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. A little bit of house cleaning before we go. Green flag racing, 31 drivers started. We've still got 24 on track. 21 on the lead lap. Your race leader ready to hit that loud pedal, ready to smash the gas, waiting for it. Now on the gas and up through the gears. Carlos Palermo gets a good restart here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Dakota Damage sitting right there in second. Look at this fanning out battle going on back here. Look at this. Drivers all over Oscar Fredrickson, Marcus Houston, as well as Alex Van de Sant, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, all battling back here through the field. We'll jump back up front here in just a moment, looking as all this action gets sorted out. Back at the front, though, Carlos Palermo has been run back down by Dakota Damage, and surprisingly able to keep themselves in front of Matt Houston as well as Isaac Morris. They continue to have that about half-second gap, snaking their way down the front stretch, crossing that famous yard of bricks. Now looking to the outside. The 82 look to go to the outside, hanging it strong. Now back to the bottom, looking for any way around Carlos Palermo that he can. A little bit of dirty air, going to get that car a little out of shape. Going to stay right there in the slipstream right behind Palermo. Very close battle here at the front of the field for that top spot as we go overhead on board here, with the driver sitting inside that 82 machine. Dakota Damage right there behind your race leader, Carlos Palermo. He's got your top three all in tow. Top four all within 1 second of each other. Oscar Gonzalez just a half a second back from Isaac Morris, but almost a second and a half behind your race leader. And look at what the clean air is doing for these two drivers, staying out on much older tires, but yet they're able to keep the field at bay. Now battling side by side with each other off of turn number 3 into turn 4. Now inside lane. Carlos Palermo out on that outside, trying to make the power move. Damage trying to squeeze play just a little bit down the front stretch here. Not going to happen, not going to work out. Palermo going to dive back into turn 1 with the race lead still in hand. Dave Stedman has Robert Sadler and Tyler Coogan right there battling for position, as the top spot still hotly contested. Dakota Damage on the outside trying to make that high side work, but that inside lane is just the place to be. He'll pull back behind Palermo down the back stretch, try to grab a little bit of a slipstream, try to slingshot if he can. And it looks like he may have the advantage here. Nope, the inside lane gonna come back. Palermo keeping that machine wound up on that inside. Here comes a block, big slide across the nose. Damage right across the nose of Palermo. Continuing around the speedway after staying out under our latest caution, Carlos Palermo, your race leader, has done exactly what needed to be done. Get off to a great restart and just keep himself right there in that clean air. Driver struggling to get around. Dakota Damage has had speed, has been there a few occasions, but not able to pull the pass off. As we go on board with your race leader, Palermo, coming off of turn 4, now back down the front stretch. And as I said, that clean air is just king here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, here in the Indy 300, sponsored by RaceVerse. And Palermo gonna break off and come to pit road. After not taking a pit stop under that last caution, Dakota Damage gonna break away, come to pit road under green flag conditions. That is going to hurt. I can guarantee you that. He is going to be well behind a lot of these drivers on track now. Shouldn't go a lap down pitting from that top spot, but still gonna give up a ton of track time for this to work out for him. He's gonna have to get a long green flag run. He's going to have to get these other drivers to have to come back down pit road once again. So we'll see how the field goes at it. Dakota DiMaggio now going to come to pit road this time by. That will put the lead back in the hands of that man at the front, your pole sitter here tonight for the Indy 300, Matt Houston. Keeping our eye on that pit road, trying to make sure everybody's on and off pit road cleanly. Looks like most of the drivers have been able to do so, and this is what the man right here, Carlos Palermo, that is exactly what he was wanting. It was exactly what he was needing. That was a long green flag run that had the rest of this field take those green flag pit stops just the way that himself and Dakota DiMaggio running right behind him did. Both of those drivers now back up inside the top 10. Drivers continue to make their way around the track here tonight at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Battle at the front of the field. Alex Van de Sant takes the top spot away as Shane Coogan as well as Tyler Coogan, both of those drivers to pit road. Houston and DiMaggio also coming down pit road last time by. We continue this long green flag run here. Field mixed up all over the track with this green flag run. The field starting to bring itself back together. We've got some tighter gaps beginning to develop. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, all starting to pack themselves back in with each other. Morris, DeGroot, Gonzalez, Altena, and Coogan all within a few tenths of each other, just a few car lengths as we continue this long green flag run here tonight. There you see it just at the halfway point here tonight from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Carlos Palermo, the rookie, continues to lead. Your pole sitter, Matt Houston, sitting right there in the second spot. As a few drivers still sitting on pit road. Looks like that's Anthony Concha and Tony Patty still down there trying to get their Dallara IR18 machines fixed up and headed back on track. Gonna try to get all they can out of tonight. Gonna be a tall task at hand, being multiple laps down as we have found ourselves settling in to a long green flag run here tonight, upwards of about the 30 to 40 lap mark on this green flag stint so far, as we'll cross the line to be halfway in tonight's Indy 300, powered by RaceVerse. RaceVerse is an esports team and fellow broadcasting network specializing in online sim racing, just like here on iRacing.com. So if you're looking for somebody to cover your show, looking to find somebody to take up a spot for you, head on over to RaceVerse. So if Van de Sant's going to want to make his way up inside the top 10, he's going to have to do away with Sadler rather quickly and then set his sights in on Gessler. Small battle still raging all over this track. Dave Stedman looking to take a spot away from Michael Jeffries as Jeffries and Stedman have a moment. Stedman, big time moment for Stedman. Let's take a look back here. Contact with that outside wall, breaking the right front tire, and that's going to put Stedman off the track, off the pace. We'll head back up front with your race leader, Carlos Palermo, as he continues to have Matt Houston hounding him just a half a second back. There you see your pole sitter, the fast Houston, looking to head back to that top spot. Driver running right there on screen in the second spot, Dakota DiMaggio, has been running up front for quite some time after a pit strategy. And DiMaggio going to break away, come to pit road, give up that spot inside the top 5, and he's going to drop well outside the top 10. So now up into that second position, Isaac Morris now puts his 63 right back where he was. Nick DeGroot gonna sit right behind him. DeGroot up one spot from where he started tonight's race. And biggest, I don't want to say that, well, dropping the most out of your top 5, down 2 positions from where he started tonight's race. Driver on screen, Oscar Gonzalez. Gonzalez inside that 11, Dallara IR18 back now running in the 4th spot. Back in the 5th, last driver inside the top 5, running in that number 1 Velocity Online Racing sponsored Dallara IR18. Julian Altena continuing his trek up through the field. Can he get inside those top 3 spots? Can he snatch away a podium spot? Still a very long way to go here at a very big, very unforgiving track. Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Luis Gonzalez Nunez hitting pit road that time by as well. Oscar Gonzalez going to hit pit road, bring his 11 machine down for some service. So we've got multiple drivers on different strategies here. Dakota DiMaggio and Carlos Palermo, where they originally were just a lap different on the fuel and tires, are now 3 laps difference on those fuel and tires for this run. Will the stretching of that fuel hurt DiMaggio, or will it pay off to have those fresher tires a little bit later in the last few remaining laps here tonight in the Indy 300? Powered by RaceVerse. Back at the front of the field, battle starts to heat up. Isaac Morris right there all over that rear gearbox, trying to take away the spot from your race leader, Matt Houston. Houston trying to keep him at bay, but it is going to be a very tough task to keep this man behind him. We'll take a look back from your race leader. There you see Matt Houston's RaceVerse Apex Sage Coaching sponsored Dallara IR18. Looking back at Isaac Morris, Nick DeGroot just off in the background in that brightly painted yellow number 89. More drivers to pit road. Julian Altena brings his machine down for service. So very close battle here in these top 3 spots. Checking some of the timing and scoring, and it looks like Carlos Palermo has made his way around the 11 of Oscar Gonzalez. Dakota DiMaggio now looking to close the distance, looking to close in on that 14th place driver, Oscar Gonzalez Nunez. We'll take a look back here in just a moment, see what this battle holds. But first, we'll join this battle right here between Robert Sadler, Alex Van de Sant. Battle for the 7th and 8th on track. Tyler Coogan just behind them, about a half a second back. Then a big gap back to Gavin Sanders, Michael Jeffries, Marcus Hudson, all still running on track, all yet to make their next green flag pit stop. Nick DeGroot brings his machine to pit road this time by, so look for DeGroot to fall outside of that top 10. And looking at that pit road delta, we set a quick time there by Carlos Palermo, 39.13 seconds on and off pit road. But Oscar Gonzalez 37.58 on and off pit road, so very fast right there, just 8.7 seconds in the pit box for Gonzalez. Almost into that 37-second pit stop was Luis Gonzalez Nunes, 38.03 on and off pit road. We'll continue to watch these pit deltas as we've got Robert Sadler and Michael Jeffries heading to pit road this time by. Back at the front of the field, though, this man Isaac Morris continuing to try to track down your race leader Matt Houston. Pit strategy all over the board at this point in time. Doesn't look like there's too much of a rhyme or reason to it all right now, but it is still pretty early going in the race. Still upwards of 40 laps remaining here tonight from Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Indy 300, powered by RaceVerse and Velocity Online Racing. Season number 3, race number 4 underway. We continue this long green flag run, and Matt Houston, your race leader, gonna break away, bring it to pit road. That will put the hands in the field in the hands of your points leader, Isaac Morris. I say in the hands of your race leader, Isaac Morris, because he has been to victory lane 2 times so far this season. Back-to-back race winning weekends. Took the win over in Japan at the Twin Ring Motegi weekend. Last week, he walked away with the Alton Park Grand Prix win. Can he make it a triple? Can he go back to back? We'll have to wait and see. Craig Forsyth gonna stay out on track. Almost a 1-second advantage back from Palermo to Gonzalez. That will be a battle for the eventual race lead. Once the driver on screen focused in right now, that 17 of Alex Van de Sande. Once he brings his machine to pit road, that will put the lead back into the hands of Carlos Palermo, and just like that, like it's on cue, Van de Sande gonna peel off, come to pit road this time by. That should all but put the lead of tonight's race back in the hands of this man right here on screen. Carlos Palermo pulling some pit road strategy under our last caution, elected to stay out on track, stayed out after the restart of the race about 10 to 15 laps, then brought his IndyCar down to pit road for 4 tires in service, and since has been kind of off sequence with the majority of the field, just himself and Dakota DeMage really on that same tire strategy. Oscar Gonzalez has made a short pit to kind of catch up with this strategy here by Palermo and Gonzalez, and it has looked to pay off so far. Now running in the 4th spot, Nick DeGroot. He's made up some time, made a pass on Julian Altona as well as Isaac Morris. Matt Houston losing the most under this second round of pit stops. He is now scored outside of the top 5, running in the 7th position, just about a second off of Isaac Morris, so giving up a ton of time there. Shane Coogan still in 4th, and Thomas Kessler still in that 5th spot, but these drivers still yet to come to pit road for what should be the final time here tonight. And now DeMage gonna come to pit road. What will Forsyth do? Forsyth gonna stay out on track this time by. That's going to put Isaac Morris up now into the 2nd spot. Shane Coogan will take over the final spot on the podium positions, running in the 3rd spot. Just 7.5 miles left to go in tonight's race. Can Van de Sande keep enough fuel in his machine to make it all the way to the checkered flag, and will he have enough fuel to even celebrate or make his way back around to the front stretch? We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. Nick DeGroot I believe that is Nick DeGruder. That may just very well be, trying to see who that is right there with your race leader. Can't quite see the car number, but coming to the line this time by popsicle sticks on display. Race leader now, just 2 laps remaining for Alex Van de Sant to bring it home to victory lane. Big time gap to play with Oscar Gonzalez. You can see it over there on the left-hand side of your screen. Almost 10 seconds back behind your race leader. So Van de Sant gonna put it in cruise control here as he heads into turn number 4, back to the front stretch. 1 lap to go. White flag in hand. Final lap here tonight from Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Indy 300. Powered by RaceVerse here in Velocity Online Racing Season number 3, race number 4. Van de Sant gonna do the unthinkable, go from the Daytona 24-hour to the Indy 300 and walk away with a race win, barring any catastrophes, into 3 for the final time. Van de Sant still has a 9-second advantage. Into 4, clean and clear, no one around, setting sail, making his way to the checkered flag, getting the job done. Great race strategy by Van de Sant and his entire crew, walking away with the race win here tonight from Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Indy 300. Powered by RaceVerse. RaceVerse, an esports team and fellow broadcasting network specializing in online sim racing right here on iRacing.com. Looking for somebody to cover your event? Need a special type of broadcast? Head on over and check out RaceVerse. We'll step away from the track for just a brief moment. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Unofficial race results for your Indianapolis 300, powered by RaceVerse. Walking away with that top spot in the race win, the 17 of Alex Van de Sant. The 11 of Oscar Gonzalez gonna walk away in second, and Dakota DeMade gonna finish in the 80 in the 3rd spot. Inside of that 82 machine, the 89 of Nick DeGroot walking away in 4th, rounding out your top 5 here tonight, the 29 of Shane Coogan. Craig Forsyth gonna walk away in 6th, and 7th goes to Isaac Morris. Thomas Gessler gonna finish tonight's race in 8th. Julian Altina finishing just inside the top 10 in the 9th spot, rounding out your top 10, the 15 of Luis Gonzalez Nunes.